What if everything you've been doing for your abs is actually making your midsection look worse, not better? Most people grind through hundreds of crunches, wondering why their belly still looks bloated and pushed out instead of tight and flat. The problem isn't effort, it's the approach. Hey, welcome back. I'm glad you're here because today we're fixing that completely. I'm going to walk you through a 15-minute abs routine specifically designed to tighten your midsection from the inside out while also improving your posture at the same time. This isn't your average ab workout. We're not just chasing the burn. We're training smarter, targeting the muscles that actually create that flat, controlled look you're after. Whether you're a beginner or someone who's been training for years, this routine will challenge you in ways you probably haven't experienced before. Let's get into it. Here is something most fitness content will never tell you. Crunches only target the rectus abdominis, that outermost layer of muscle responsible for the six-pack appearance. But that single muscle is just the surface. Underneath it lies a whole system of muscles working together, and the most important one is the transverse abdominis. Think of the transverse abdominis as your body's natural weight belt. It wraps all the way around your midsection like a corset, and when it contracts, it literally cinches your waist from the inside. This is the muscle that creates that flat, tight look you are actually after. The problem is, standard crunches barely touch it. Most popular AB routines focus entirely on flexion movements, meaning they just bend you forward repeatedly, completely skipping the deep stabilizing work your core actually needs. Training the core as a unit, meaning all layers working together, is what separates a bloated-looking midsection from a genuinely tight one. Every single exercise you are about to do targets both how your midsection looks and how your body actually functions throughout daily life. Your posture might be the reason your belly looks bigger than it actually is. When your core muscles are weak, your body compensates in ways that visually destroy your midsection, even if your body fat is relatively low. The most common issue is anterior pelvic tilt. This happens when your pelvis tips forward, causing your lower back to arch excessively and your belly to push outward. Pair that with rounded shoulders, another side effect of a weak core, and suddenly you look like you are carrying extra weight that simply is not there. Think of your core as the structural foundation of your entire body. When that foundation is compromised, everything above and below it shifts out of alignment. This is exactly why this routine was designed differently. This is where the real work begins. Start by lying flat on your back with your knees bent and feet on the floor. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Now breathe in slowly through your nose, letting your stomach rise first before your chest. That is diaphragmatic breathing, and it is how your deep core actually activates. Now exhale fully, and at the bottom of that exhale, gently draw your navel toward your spine. Hold that subtle contraction without holding your breath. That is abdominal bracing, and that feeling right there is your transverse abdominis switching on. Practice this for about 60 seconds. Every single rep forces it to fire hard just to keep your spine stable throughout the movement. Go ahead and lie flat on your back with your arms pointing straight up toward the ceiling and your knees bent at 90 degrees directly above your hips. Before you move a single limb, press your lower back completely into the floor. That contact point is everything. Now, slowly lower your right arm overhead while simultaneously extending your left leg toward the floor. Do not let your lower back lift. Bring everything back to center, then repeat on the opposite side. The movement should be slow, deliberate, and fully controlled. Speed is your enemy here. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Breathing steadily throughout. And this one is an absolute game changer for midsection tightness. Here is how to get into position. Lie flat on your back. Press your lower back firmly into the floor, then raise your legs to about 30 degrees. Extend your arms straight overhead and lift your shoulders slightly off the ground. Your body should form a slight banana shape, with every muscle from your fingertips to your toes under tension. Hold that tension for 30 seconds. And this one is a game changer, once you understand the difference between doing it right and just surviving it. Most people get into a plank, hold their breath, let their hips sag, and call it core work. That is a lazy plank. It looks like the exercise, but it is not doing much for you. An active plank is completely different. Here is how to make yours count. Get into your forearm plank position. Now, instead of just holding still, tuck your pelvis slightly underneath you, like you are trying to flatten your lower back toward the ceiling. Next, squeeze your glutes firmly. Then pull your belly button up and in toward your spine. Slow and steady wins here every single time. What makes the bird dog so valuable is that it trains anti-rotation. That means your core has to work hard to prevent your spine from twisting or collapsing as you move. This is exactly the kind of deep, functional strength that holds your body upright throughout the day. Here is how to do it. Start on all fours with your wrists under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Brace your core like you are about to take a punch. Now slowly extend your right arm forward and your left leg back at the same time. The critical cue here is keeping your hips perfectly square to the floor. Do not let them rotate or tilt. Hold for 2 seconds at the top, then return with control. Switch sides and repeat. Now we are moving into exercise 5, and this one is an absolute game changer for building a tight, strong midsection. We are talking about the AB wheel rollout. Or if you do not have an AB wheel, you can use a stability ball for a modified version that works just as effectively. Here is why this exercise stands apart from everything else. When you roll out, whether on a wheel or a ball, your entire anterior chain, meaning your abs, hip flexors, chest, and shoulders, all fire together under full-length tension. That is not something a crunch can ever replicate. Start on your knees, brace your core hard before you move, and slowly roll forward only as far as you can control without your lower back collapsing. Then pull yourself back using your abs, not momentum. This full-range tension is exactly what creates that deep, visually tight midsection, while also building the functional strength your body needs for everyday movement and long-term posture support. Now we move into exercise 6, the side plank with hip dip, and this one is all about your obliques. These muscles run diagonally along the sides of your torso, and they are absolutely essential for waist tightening and lateral stability. Without strong obliques, your midsection lacks that cinched, defined look, no matter how hard you train the front. Get into a side plank position, forearm on the ground, body in a straight line from head to heel. Now slowly lower your hip toward the floor without letting it touch, then lift it back up past neutral. That lowering and lifting motion is where the obliques fire hardest. Keep your hips stacked, your core braced, and resist the urge to rotate forward. Perform 10 to 12 reps on each side. Here is the posture connection. Strong obliques help keep your spine upright and prevent lateral collapse when you are standing or walking, directly supporting better everyday posture. Now we are moving into exercise 7, the reverse crunch, and this one is specifically targeting your lower abs. The lower abdominal region is one of the most underdeveloped areas in most people's core training, and it is largely responsible for that stubborn lower belly pooch that just will not seem to go away no matter how many regular crunches you do. Here is how to do it correctly. Lie flat on your back with your hands pressed lightly beside your hips for support. Bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle, then use your abs to curl your hips off the floor, drawing your knees toward your chest. The key word here is curl. You are not swinging your legs or using momentum. You are squeezing from the lower abs and lifting with intention. On the way down, resist gravity. Control that descent completely. That lowering phase is where a huge portion of the work actually happens, so do not throw it away. This is exactly why it earns the final spot, training real-world tightness and functional stability simultaneously. This one is special because it trains your core exactly the way your body uses it in real life, upright and under pressure. Attach a resistance band to a fixed point at chest height. Stand sideways to the anchor, feet shoulder-width apart, and hold the band with both hands at your chest. Press your hands straight out in front of you, resisting the band's pull to rotate your torso. Hold for 2 seconds, then bring it back in. That resistance you are fighting is your deep core working overtime. Unlike floor exercises, this standing position directly mirrors how your core stabilizes your spine during walking, lifting, and standing throughout the day. Your transverse abdominis, obliques, and spinal stabilizers all fire together as one coordinated unit. Amazing work completing the full routine. Now it is time to bring your body down with a proper cool down that protects everything you just built. Start with cat-cow. On all fours, inhale as you drop your belly and lift your gaze, then exhale as you round your spine toward the ceiling. Move slowly through 8 to 10 repetitions, letting your spine decompress and your breath guide each movement. Next, sink back into child's pose. Extend your arms forward, rest your forehead down, and breathe deeply for 30 seconds. This gently releases the lower back and hip flexors, which tighten significantly during core training. Finally, come onto your back for a gentle spinal twist. Draw one knee across your body, extend your arms wide, and hold for 20 seconds on each side. Skipping this cool down is a mistake many people make. When your hip flexors and lower back stay tight after training, they pull your pelvis forward, undoing the postural work you just accomplished. Let's quickly recap everything you just completed. You worked through 8 powerful exercises: the dead bug, hollow body hold, active plank with posterior pelvic tilt, bird dog, ab wheel rollout, side plank with hip dip, reverse crunch, and the standing Pallof press. Every single one of these movements was chosen with purpose. The 4 principles tying this entire routine together are deep core engagement, posture alignment, controlled movement, and consistency. These are not optional extras. They are the foundation of everything. You were not just training your abs today. You were retraining how your entire body holds itself together. Now here is the part that matters most. Doing this routine 3 to 4 times per week will produce visible and functional results within just a few weeks. Not months. Weeks. But only if you show up consistently and apply every cue you learned today with full intention every single time. Let us go again. It is built from the inside out, through deep engagement, smart movement, and consistent effort. You just proved to yourself that you can train smarter, not just harder. That is a massive win worth celebrating. If this routine challenged you, opened your eyes to how your core actually works, or simply made you feel stronger and more aligned, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button, save this video so you can come back to it anytime, and share it with someone who is still grinding out pointless sit-ups. Follow along for more targeted routines just like this one, designed to give you real results that actually last. Now here is your challenge. Do not stop here.